Hey, peeps. Good morning. Nick here, leaving the gym. Wanted to shoot a quick video because while I was working out, I just got this visual. Y'all know God speaks to me through visions. One of the visions that he gave me was me standing on land, on dry land, but around me was quicksand. And in that quicksand was family members that were struggling, that were drowning, that were reaching out, asking me to help them. And I was looking at them, trying to figure out what it was that I was supposed to do to help them. And in that visual, God began to speak to me or give me an understanding of why success is so critical. You know, I want y'all to think about this for a second. You had this life to live, right? And in this life that you have to live, you have these gifts, these abilities, these talents. You have specific visions. You have different ideas. You have things that you know you desire to do and you desire to accomplish. But at the end of the day, you have two choices. You can either do whatever it takes to make it happen, or you can succumb to the pressures of the world by distractions and not make them happen. But here's what I know for sure. I know that if we don't live out who we are called to be, we fail the next generation. And here's why. Because our lives, we talk about legacy, our lives and the ability to live this life with purpose and actually fulfill that purpose is like a track meet. And if you think about a relay race, you have four people who are a part of a relay and they have a baton and each of them have a different role. You have the starting leg, you have those who are in the middle, you have the finishing leg. The goal and the objective of a relay race is for each one to get the baton to the next runner. But if for any reason they drop the baton, they fall, they fail, they don't make it there, guess what? That next runner is not able to fulfill their role and fulfill their job. And at the end of the day, all of the runners involved in that race fail their mission because one person failed to fulfill theirs. Our lives is just like that. If you don't live out your purpose, if you don't live out what God has called you to do, you fail the next generation because guess what? You're forcing them to have to start all over again. And one of the things that I've discovered about life and I've discovered about the challenges that a lot of us face is that we have to start over and over again, every generation. You know, we have to learn the same lessons. We have to struggle with the same situations. We have to confront the same limited beliefs. We have to deal with the same frustrations. And it's because a lot of us don't understand the power of our role for the next generation. And so if I can tell you guys anything, I want to tell you this. It's time to take your life seriously, because as I began to look back and think about my family in that quicksand, I think about all the people who set me up to be able to get out of LA, to be where I am today, so that I can be made available to impact this current generation and be positioned for the next generation. Some of y'all may think that that's too deep, that it's too much of a responsibility, but I'm gonna tell you something. Your life is not here by a random occurrence. You are here for a specific purpose. There is a calling in your life. You were given and granted and equipped with what you have to fulfill that specific mission. And if you do not fulfill it, yes, there is a next generation that will have to start from scratch. They're going to have to go through all the hell you went through. They're going to have to deal with all the hardship you went through. They're going to have to face all the frustrations you went through. They're going to have to start from trying to learn everything on their own, because sometimes we're too selfish to understand that our life is not about us. I talk a lot about purpose. The reality is your purpose is not for you. It's for somebody else. And a lot of times that purpose starts off with those in our immediate family and our immediate environment. We may not understand it, we may not see it, but it is that critical and it is that crucial. And we live in a generation where we're so selfish. We're so focused on getting mine. We're so focused on getting stuff. But guys, a legacy is not buying fancy cars and rocking expensive labels that you can hand off to the next generation. That's a lie from the pit of hell. That is a benefit for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But a real legacy is the ability to equip and instill in your next generation the ability to understand who they are, what they're called to fulfill, and to give them the necessary skills, to give them the necessary mindset, to speak life into them, and to let them know that they were here for a purpose, and to take their lives seriously, and to do whatever it is necessary that they have the vision and the desire to fulfill. And so I want to share that with y'all. I can go on and on and on, but I was sitting in that gym and I was like, whoa, okay, this is getting real. And when you start thinking about when I got that visual, it was like, how dare you let somebody else's opinion limit you and your belief system to think that you're not capable to do what God has called you to do? How dare you let somebody else's opinion tell you what you can and cannot do? This is not about somebody else. This is about all the individuals that are waiting on you to rise in your greatness, to do what it is that you know you are called to do, and to fulfill your purpose, to create a level of impact, and to give that baton to the next generation so that they can start from their leg of the race and don't have to run yours too. And it's just that simple. If you don't do what you're called to do, imagine somebody trying to run a relay race, which is 4 runners, requires 4 runners, but they got to fulfill each role of those 4 runners because the previous 4 generations was selfish and wasn't willing enough to run their race to hand off the baton. I'm going to let y'all sit with that one. Have a great Monday.